Hi guys, I'm Laura Vitale, and in this episode of Laura in the Kitchen, I'm going to show you how I make a beautiful summer corn risotto with blackened scallops. So good. My best friend I went to a restaurant down the shore a couple weeks ago. She ordered it, she took a picture of it, she said you must recreate this right away. And I got to it, and it is pretty phenomenal. It's very easy, and there's very few ingredients, but they're all the right ones. Starting with some really good sweet corn. You're going to shuck your corn, make sure that there's no fibers or anything like that. I'm gonna cut the kernels off, and the easiest way to do this is in a bundt pan because it's gonna catch all of the corn. And you just run a sharp knife all the way down your corn kernel. And then it's really important that you just take the back of your knife, you can take the front of your knife, and just really do that, because you see all of this, that is such good, corny, delicious goodness. And then what I've done is I have some chicken stock right there coming to a simmer, and I added 2 of the corn cobs right to it because I want to extract some of this really yummy sweet corn flavor. So while I do this, I'm also going to go ahead and mince up some shallots and some garlic. I'm going to add this corn cob to my stock so it just infuses with all that corn goodness. Put this upside down so I don't miss anything. And then I'll get chopping up my scallions. No, shallots. Okay, we have everything chopped. I've been eating a lot of raw corn. If anybody else loves raw corn as much as I do, sing it down in the comments. A little olive oil, a little bit of butter. You're gonna go ahead and take your shallots and your garlic, same time, just simply because you're not caramelizing the shallots, so you don't have to wait for the garlic to go in at the same time. You're gonna just sweat them out for just a couple of minutes until they start to sizzle. Then we'll add the corn, but just let this go for a couple minutes. Go ahead and add the corn. Add all of that right in. I'm just gonna cook this on about medium-low for, I'd say, 10 minutes or so. Just set that aside. Let's give it just a pinch of salt to get it going. And then just let it cook low and slow, not too low, for about 10 minutes. That looks fantastic. I'm just gonna go ahead and take some of it, like a ladle full. It's okay, it's okay, it's okay. I made a bit of an owie, but it's okay. We're gonna salvage it in just a second. Just take about a ladle full, like that, and then take your rice into the corn. And now my rice has corn on it, but you know what, it's okay. It's gonna go in the same place anyway. This you're gonna set aside, and this you're gonna go ahead and just mix it with the corn juices. Crank it up just the tiniest little bit, and you really want that rice to be coated with all that really wonderful, delicious flavor. I love the ratio that I use of corn and rice. It's almost like 1-to-1, okay? Because I don't want like a corn, like in this case, a corn risotto, right? And you only get like a half a cup of corn in there. What am I gonna do with that? Like, I want the flavor. I want the sweetness. I want that sweet summer corn running through the entire dish. So I'm just gonna go ahead and let this cook. It doesn't need to cook long, maybe about a minute or two. The goal here is to get that rice to start absorbing some of that flavor from the shallots and the garlic and the sweet corn and the butter. So just about a minute or so. We have our chicken corn stock, this is what I call it. Simmer all back there. It's good. It's not bothering anybody. You just want to keep it on simmer. You don't need to boil it, because otherwise if you boil it, you're just going to evaporate it anyway. So let that go. I'm going to go ahead and hit this with a little dry white wine, about a half a cup. You don't have to. If you don't want to add it, don't. I like a little bit of tang. I like the balance it gives you. And now all you have to do is wait for that wine to evaporate and cook out. And once it's there, you can start absorbing the liquid. You can see there's too much liquid right now. You can see the liquid pulling up. You want that liquid to really not be there anymore. You want that liquid so that when I do that, that's not running into itself. So let's just give that a minute to absorb, and then we start adding our stock. I want you to see when I separate it now, there's no juices running to itself. That's when you know you're ready to add the next ladleful of liquids, which in this case now we're going to just start with our stock. And we're gonna add a couple ladlefuls at a time, and we're not gonna add any more until this has been absorbed. And that's just how you create that really beautiful, velvety, luscious risotto that we all know and love. This will take a total for the rice to be tender, because this is the one exception to al dente. We don't want an al dente risotto. An al dente risotto really ruins it for me. Adding a little bit of salt. This is the only exception of you want something creamy and delicious and perfectly cooked. So it will take a total of about 25 minutes, but about 5 minutes before the rice is cooked, we're gonna sear our scallops, because they literally take 5 minutes, and the combination is pretty unbeatable. So set a timer for 20 minutes, and then in that last 5 minutes, we will make the scallops. The rice is not ready yet. It's gonna need another, I would say another 10 minutes, but I'm gonna go ahead and take, remember the little bit of corn that I took out? I'm gonna add it to a powerful blender. Any blender will do. And you're gonna add a little bit of stock, and you're gonna make like a cream. So instead of adding like heavy cream for richness, we're just gonna add this, I call it corny cream. Call me corny, but I'm gonna call it corny cream. And I'm just gonna go ahead and blend it until it's super smooth. And then I'm just gonna set it aside. I'm also gonna go ahead and finely mince some parsley and some chives so that those are ready. But right now, I'm just gonna go ahead and puree this until super, super creamy. All right, my risotto is just about done. I'm gonna go ahead, instead of adding my last ladleful of the stock, I'm gonna go ahead and add that corn puree that I made. It's really gonna bump up that really beautiful corn flavor. Give it a nice big stir. And this is gonna need just a few more minutes. While that happens, I want you to season it with some salt and pepper. I tasted it for salt, it's perfect, but I am gonna go ahead and add some pepper. This will be ready in about, I would say, 3 to 4 minutes. In the meantime, I have a little bit of oil and a little bit of butter getting really nice and hot in a small skillet. I'm only doing a few scallops today, but I'm gonna just take some scallops and I'm gonna pat them really well, coat them really well on both sides with some blackened seasoning, any blackening seasoning of your choice. This is gonna go really fast because you really do not want to overcook your scallops. So to coat them into that goodness, add them into that butter that's now turning a lovely light golden brown. And you're gonna add them in there, and they are just going to cook for about 2 minutes per side. Do not flip them until they are 2 minutes done, because otherwise you'll end up steaming them and you won't get that really beautiful flavor, that beautiful color. So let that go. The corn, I'm gonna turn off. I'm gonna wash my hands first, then we'll do one more step to the risotto, and then we pull the whole thing off. Turn your risotto off. Add really good quality Parmigiano. Stir that in. And now it's gonna do the thing I always do to risotto, which it looks really, really soupy now, but that is the key to a good risotto. Risotto should always have, in Italian we say, una onda, a wave to it. It should never be stiff. It should never be something that looks like rice almost. It should just be really creamy. Keep that covered for about 5 minutes or so. In the meantime, we're gonna cook the scallops, we're gonna clean up, and then we pull the whole thing together. Look at the color of those scallops. Hit them with a little acid, a little lemon, a little parsley, a little chive situation. Let me just tell you. Hold on, I'm just trying to turn that off. This is phenomenal, okay? Phenomenal. Look at this risotto. Look at the lusciousness. Look how creamy. Look at this, okay? Look at this. That is a risotto, okay? That is exactly what a risotto should look like. It should have a beautiful wave to it, creamy, fantastic. Take your scallops. This is beautiful, okay? Beautiful. Take a few scallops per person. Make sure you get that brown butter in there, okay? And then a little extra green, a little chive, a little parsley situation, and let me tell you something, okay? I could run a business by making just this. business. Creamy. The risotto, it's fantastic. The scallop, it's cooked so perfectly. Look at this, it falls apart with a fork. Look at this, I don't have to do nothing to it. Look, watch, ready? Look, boom. The brown butter, the blackened seasoning, so it's spicy. Oh my goodness. This is all I need. This is all I need. Go to laurainthekitchen.com for the written recipe. It's perfection. Hope you enjoy spending time with me. You must make this. Corn is still out. It's still really, really beautiful and sweet and decadent and delicious. Before summer comes to an end and the pumpkin pie spice starts rolling in, take advantage of the summer produce. It's going to give you so much bang for your buck. Few ingredients, but it's good. I'll talk to you later and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.